Hi, everybody. It is Kathy, and I love to be selling. Come on in, everybody. Come in, come in, come in. This is exciting for me, and I will explain why. Let me just do a brief introduction, and then I'm going to explain what's going on. I'm Kathy Terrell, and I love to be selling. I am a top-rated seller on eBay. I've been selling on eBay for over 15 years. I am trained by eBay as an education specialist. I have over 25 years of retail experience in New York City. I'm in New York doing merchandising and displays. And if you don't know, I was on the QVC shopping channel. So I presented products. I was a product presenter for over 6 years. The super thing about QVC coming to eBay is that it was enormous experience in selling and in selling things that customers couldn't touch, smell, taste. So that was absolutely fascinating. Also being surrounded by absolutely superb, top-notch sellers. In fact, I got to meet Joan Rivers while she was still alive, and she was a trip. Super, super nice lady, by the way, very professional and amazing to watch in action, to watch all the preparation she did and then to watch her. So that was great, great fun. I came back to New York City. I was commuting, if you don't know, QVC's in Westchester, Pennsylvania, as my mom was sick and I needed to be home to take care of her. She was in dwindling health for several years, and I wanted to be on hand to go with her to all her doctor visits. She was in and out of the hospital a lot. So I wasn't able to do QVC. It was just too much. And it was hard to be doing any other kind of job because people say they're flexible, but they're not, especially when you're going to the hospital a lot, which I was. And I actually sort of fell into eBay selling. And the way I started selling on eBay was just decluttering my home, just selling things from around my home. So if you're a new seller, I totally have stood in your shoes. So I was a very casual seller for several years, again, because my priority was my mom. I needed to make some money. I'm married. Thankfully, my husband was very supportive of my choice. So I made some money selling on eBay, but I was very much a part-time seller because my focus was my family at the beginning. My mom died, she passed, and after that, I started to scale my business. I'm a very successful eBay seller. I'm an eBay sales and social media consultant. I work with some very large sellers that are coming onto eBay. I get to work with hundreds of sellers, which is good for you because I've seen sellers that are in home and garden, motorcycle parts, automotive parts, clothing, accessories, jewelry. I work with a lot of different kind of sellers, electronics recently. So I take all that information and then I help you. What I am all about is helping you to get found in eBay search. If you can get found better in eBay search, your item will sell, and typically it sells for a higher price and it sells faster. So that's what I'm all about is, how do I do this listing? How do I promote it? So I talk about social media in order to get my item seen by shoppers and to get my item sold to shoppers. If you've been selling on eBay for a while, like I have, you know how much it's changed. And it's not just eBay, all of e-commerce has changed. So because of that, I've created this wonderful workshop week. This is my gift to you to celebrate the new decade. And it is Skyrocket Your eBay Sales in 2020. Today is one of our question and answer sessions. And I'm streaming this live in the group, Skyrocket Your eBay Sales in 2020. And we have over 500 sellers in the group. And what's really exciting to me, we have sellers of all levels. So brand new sellers, just like the way I was years ago with my mom, and then medium and some very large sellers. So welcome to you all. We're also a global group. We have a wonderful contingency from the UK, so welcome to all my UK sellers. We also have sellers in Canada, and we have sellers in Australia. So just to remind us all that eBay is a global selling community, and we all learn and we all grow together. So welcome to all my sellers all around the world. I'm thrilled to have you with me. What this workshop is all about, and if you're watching this on my Facebook page, I love to be selling, please come join us. This workshop has no cost. That is totally my gift to you to get the workshops from Monday, and it was recorded so you can watch it. Then we're going to have another workshop tomorrow, which is all about social media, which you definitely want to be with us for. And then Friday, and I'm not going to tip my hand and tell you what that is. And then we're going to have some bonus workshops over the weekend. So you do need to come join the group to get access to the workshops. But these Q&A sessions I am going to do publicly to just bless the whole entire eBay selling community. So come in, come in, come in. Now I'm going to address the people that are in the workshop. So if you don't have your worksheet, and it was emailed to you if you're on the workshop list, if for some reason you don't have it, just pop into the workshop group and let me know, and I'll help you out afterwards. Do check your spam folder, because if we have not been emailing each other, there's a chance it's there. Isn't that just terrible? Or in the junk folder. But you do want to download it. What it is I go over what's been covered in the workshop, and I give you sort of food for thought, things to help you to take action on the items. It's short. I'm very much from the school of, sometimes I'll take classes and I get these worksheets and it's like, are you kidding me? It's like an hour and a half of work. I'm like, I don't think so. Honestly, I would say 10 or 15 minutes. You might do it faster just in case there are some points on the worksheet that you may not have thought of. Some of the stuff you may need to look up, but I do encourage you to download the worksheet and to use it, okay? Because it's going to help you, help you, help you. The more that you are proactive, attending the workshops, downloading the worksheets, and using them and filling them in. And this can be private. This does not have to be shared. You don't have to tell me anything that's on this. This is for you and your eBay business. The more you're going to see progress moving forward. I already have sellers that are already posting. They can already see results. So you want to definitely do that. And one thing I wanted to read to you. Hi, everybody. Let me just check in and see how everybody's doing. Hey, Sherry, how are you? Shammy, great. Cindy, Grace, Helen. Good, good, good to see everybody. Hello, hello, hello. So one thing I wanted to read to you, and this is from Hannah, one of my UK buddies. And I just want to read this to you. I got to find this. And where did I put it? Where did I, so it's always like, okay, so where did I put it? What file did I put it in? Hang on a second. Just so that you understand where I come from. Because oftentimes when you will take an eBay workshop, or you'll take an eBay seminar, or you'll listen to somebody, people can make a lot of promises. And what I'm really about is, I'm not a one-size-fits-all eBay selling coach. For those that work with me will certainly tell you that. What I'm about is, what's your goal? What do you want? What's a priority for you? And it can be hard sometimes, because it's like, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. And that's one of the things I really talked about in Monday's workshop is, it's fine to have multiple goals, but what you want to do is, and if you're going to have one or two, that's fine, but you need to prioritize them. So what is your big overall goal? You know, is it to grow my business 10% or 20%? Is it perhaps, I really want to understand how Facebook business pages work? Is it perhaps, okay, I'm on Instagram, but I really have no idea of what I'm doing. But that you have one main goal. Now, it's fine to have, like, I have one main goal for my eBay sales, and then I may have one main goal for my social media. That's totally fine to do, but you need to have one. Where a lot of sellers get themselves in trouble is, and this is true really in any business, is sort of smorgasbord school, which is sort of, I'm all over the place. It's a little bit here, it's a little bit there. Some people call it shiny object syndrome. And when you do that, typically you don't follow through, because it's a little bit of this, it's a little bit of this, it's a little bit of this, and nothing really gets done. So to move forward, to have success, and this is one thing that I was talking about on Monday, is when I see successful sellers, and a successful seller is not necessarily a dollar amount. It can be longevity as an eBay seller. It can be joy as an eBay seller, is that they are willing to change, they are willing to learn, and they are focused. The reason that you're still selling after 4 years, 5 years, 8 years is that you're continuing to learn and grow, And you've got to take a look at what kind of attitude you have, because you want to have an attitude that you're enjoying what you're doing. I remember my first sale. Do you remember your first sale? If you're more of a medium or a larger seller, you've been at this for a while. I remember I was so excited. I still get excited when I hear cha-ching, because you know what? My listing sold. I had a listing and somebody said, yes, I want this. I found that thrilling. I still do. And I've been at this, gosh, 15 years, 18 years, that somebody is buying my item. I also take it as a personal trust. They are trusting me to pack it and to ship it to them. I love that. And I love working with other sellers so that they can have that, have it consistently. You can make a living. Some people want to make enough money for a vacation. They're helping their kids with college. They're paying off a debt. And other people, it is full-time employment. So this is what my friend Hannah said, who's a wonderful seller. And she said, my reflections on the video are this. And this is from the first video from Monday. I love it. Too much of e-commerce training offers a get-rich-quick, easy money, just do this and all your problems are over approach. I've taken those courses, and this is just absolute rubbish. I love Hannah. The mantra of this video is hard work, business planning, and keeping goals is the magic formula, and the rest is all potentially changeable. And it does, because eBay changes, things change, e-commerce changes, social media changes, but certain fundamentals don't change. The mindset is essential, Hannah says. In my view, and the worksheets, yay for the worksheets, thank you, Hannah, break down the process and make it manageable to start thinking like that. Accountability for our own business successes and failures. I talked about that. You know, you will make mistakes. There will be failures, but it's how you deal with it and to take it and to move forward with it, not let it stop you, not let it stop you, because things happen. And I go, okay, deal with it. How do I deal with it? How can I learn from this? And then you move forward. And tracking, and you do need to track. Need to track sales. I need to track profits. I need to track social media and find ways to do that that work for me. And this is all going to help accountability for our own business successes and failures, and tracking that is great advice. And then she said she was looking forward to tonight. So this is what today is about. So first of all, if you haven't joined us for Skyrocket Your eBay Sales in 2020, come join, because tomorrow's session is going to be a blast. Today is question and answers. So what I'm doing during this workshop series, and I am for you this week, I have cleared the decks. I have a couple of things I have to do this week, but basically I have cleared the decks for you. This is my gift for you. You get to experience what it's like to work with me this week. The Skyrocket Your eBay Sales group is a pop-up group. It will be up for this workshop, and then I am going to archive it. But this is going to be a blast. We're going to learn a lot this week, and I can't wait to see everybody's progress. So the question and answer workshops, which is today and Thursday, and then I am going to do on Saturday, we're going to do more content, but I'm going to do a lot of questions because you're giving me a lot of questions and I want to answer them for you. So, but I want to answer your question today. I'm not blowing you off. It's just we're going to have more time tomorrow. I will do some more on social media tomorrow. And then I'm going to do a whole question and answer session on Thursday. Then we'll do more on Saturday, and we'll do more on Sunday. So I want to stick to questions that were about session one today. And the first one, as we started about your starting point and your main goal. And several of the sellers are newer sellers. And one of my newer sellers said, well, you know, what do I need to do when I'm first starting? Which is such a great question. And this applies to all of us because we're all starting something, but particularly when you're starting on eBay. And I want to keep this very, very simple, because oftentimes when people are instructing new sellers, I feel like I'm listening to the Encyclopedia Britannica. So just to keep it very simple, I do not encourage you to buy any inventory at the beginning at all. That you sell personal possessions. You sell things from around your home, and literally just take bags or boxes and go around your house, every closet, every space, home decor, clothing, even over-the-counter prescription items if they're new and sealed. Health and beauty items do need to be new and sealed. Perfume can be used. You can't send perfume. I just want to tell you this because this is one thing you could get in trouble with. You cannot send perfume priority because most of it has alcohol in it, just in case somehow you have non-alcoholic perfume. But for the most part, it has alcohol, so it does need to go ground. But basically, go around your home. Anything that's clean and nice, particularly if it has new with tags, round it up. That is what you're going to sell. Don't go shopping. It's fine if you want to watch videos and listen to your seller friends and all kinds of experts. Don't buy inventory at the beginning, okay? Because you need to learn that you really love eBay and that you love selling, and it's not just listing, it's shipping and it's customer service. I do encourage you to get a postage scale at the beginning. If money's really tight, a food scale can work great. If money's really tight and you don't have a food scale in the house, you can go to the post office with your items. You're going to go to the post office with your item and a box or the mailer, whatever you're going to ship it with, and put it on the scale and then write down what the weight of the item is. Postage scales are very inexpensive now. You can get them. There's Accutech is the one I have. $16, $17 on eBay and pretty much everywhere. So get a scale. You don't have to have a tape gun, but they're not a lot of money, and it just makes it a lot easier to seal your packages. Whatever you're listing, think about it. Is it going to take a poly mailer or a box? And you want to have that on hand. But that's my encouragement, and I'm keeping it very, very simple. Round up your stuff. Get a scale. You might want to have a tape gun. Figure out what it's going to fit into, whether it's a poly mailer or a box, and start. You're going to need to get the eBay app or just do it on your computer. You'll need to set up an eBay account and get listing. If you listen to Workshop 1, I've got some information in there for you on titles, but I really encourage you, don't spend any money except for on the scale and maybe a tape gun, and get listing. You will learn an enormous amount from listing and selling and shipping. And you'll be like all of us, you'll be doing the happy dance when you sell your first item. So that is my encouragement for my new sellers, because I got a bunch of questions on that. Promoted listings. I got a question on promoted listings because a lot from Workshop 1 I was talking about. One of the goals often for us sellers is we want to sell, we want more sales, and we want the item to sell faster. So if typically we list an item, I'm looking around, oh, here's my trusty pen. So typically, always have pens around. Typically, if my pen sells, let's say it normally takes about 6 months to sell, and you do want to track, because often sellers don't, you do want to be aware of typically how long merchandise sits with you. And the reason you want to track that is this is money tied up. Your inventory is money tied up. That's cash sitting on the shelf, hanging, bagged, boxed, wherever it is. So that's money tied up that's not in your bank account. So the faster you can sell this at a decent price with a decent margin, and margin means how much you're making after all your expenses. When I define my terms like margin, I am not trying to speak down to my medium or my large sellers or more experienced sellers. I just really try to define my terms. I know when I was newer, it was really, people use jargon and you're like, I have no idea what they're talking about. So I try to define my terms just to help everybody out. And some of us are stronger in some areas of selling than others. So anyway, is typically, let's say my pen sells in 6 months, okay? If I can get this sold in 4 months, that doesn't seem like that big of a deal, or 5 months, but it is. That means that cash for that pen, that dress, that bookend, that vase, that lamp, that auto part is in my bank account and not sitting on the shelf. And promoted listings can help you with that. And if you're unfamiliar with promoted listings, or if you think you know everything about promoted listings, just hang tight. I was on the beta team, and I've been on a couple of betas for promoted listings. And promoted listings, because I know I have my UK gang with me too, is available overseas as well as here. And what it does is it boosts your item typically in search, okay? It's not what they call pay-per-click. There is advertising out there on different platforms, which is pay-per-click. You'll see the lingo PPC. PPC is pay-per-click, which means it's very expensive, by the way. Every time you click on the item, you're paying. It's like, oh boy, it's not that. It's like, yay. What it is if they click it and they buy it within 30 days, I will pay a promoted listings fee if it's in promoted listings. If they click my pen, I'm trying to find something else. I got all kinds of toys here. If they click my pen and buy my scissors, I don't pay a promoted listings fee. Okay? I only pay it if they click the pen and buy this exact pen, not my other pen, and it has to be within 30 days. And you know this, sometimes people throw things in shopping carts and don't buy it for a couple of months. So it's within 30 days, okay? Now, as a seller, this I love, and eBay just started doing this, gosh, like 4 or 5 months ago. It now shows in your solds, in case you haven't noticed this, in green in the United States. In my UK gang, you have to tell me if it's the same thing. It says promoted listing. So I know that the item sold from a promoted listing. Yay. And you can get an idea of how much of your things are selling through promoted listings. And I manage some accounts. Some of my clients, 50% of their items are selling through promoted listings. Different categories, it's different. I have a couple of items where they pretty much always sell through promoted listings. It's really interesting to me. Now, what that tells me, if you've got an item, so let's say back to my pen, it very rarely sells as a non-promoted listing. Pretty much anytime I see a pen sale, it's selling through promoted listings. What that tells me is that it's the keywords that for some reason when people are searching, there's something about this pen, yay, eBay, it's surfacing in all kinds of searches. Now, it could be because it's silver or blue or black, because people do search that way, you know, black pen, silver pen, black shirt, black mug. I'm trying to think of stuff, black lamp, okay? If there's some color thing or insignia, I'm trying to think too, because we're all around the world. It could be because it's from Leeds or Sussex, or it's from Boston or New York. So if you see something that is consistently selling in your inventory through promoted listings, yay. And just take a look at it, because 9 times out of 10, it's the keywords, okay? Which means, yeah, you're doing a good job on them, okay? The thing is, you also control the rate on promoted listings. Now, some people say, oh, do 1% across the board, 2% across the board. I don't say things like that. I think it's great. What I really encourage you to do is test what works for you. Now, none of us go, yay, 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 more eBay fees. I don't think anybody does that. It's like, eBay does, but we don't. We're like, no. But listen, if it gets your item sold 2 months faster, 3 months faster, yay. If it gets it sold, yay. If you know what I mean? So you got to look at what the percentage is. The other thing is that when you're picking promoted listings now, it'll actually say, if you hear sirens, I'm in New York, it will say, this is going to cost you 43 cents, $1.43. I'll do for my UK. It's going to cost you £1, £2. So you know how much it's going to cost you. And just look at it. Can you afford that or not? If you can't, so let's say they're suggesting I do it at 8%, and the dollar amount it's going to be, of course, we got the sirens. Yeah, it's just a lot. Like, I really can't afford that. Then just drop it down, okay? Just drop it down, but then watch the results. So if you've got campaigns running and you've got very low, and campaigns is your group of listings that are in promoted listings, and you're not getting any results, 2 things. 1, look at the rate that you're giving them. 2, look at your keywords in your items. Just go, is there something better I can do here? Because that is one of the big ways that promoted listings is promoting your item around eBay, is the different keywords that are in your item. Okay, and just so you know with promoter listings, because oftentimes we're very focused on what's called the river, and that's eBay jargon for you. I learned that from eBay staff friends. The main search on eBay, which is right in the middle when you're on a computer, you know, the flow of products in the middle, that's called the river, okay? And best match is there, lowest price and shipping is there. It's the main part of search is the river. But there's a lot of places on eBay for shoppers to find items. When you log in case you haven't noticed this, eBay makes suggestions, Kathy, and it will display things, okay? Sometimes on the sidebar, there'll be things. At my shopping cart when I'm checking out, oh, you bought the pen? Wouldn't you like the scissors to go with it? Well, the scissors, it'll say sponsored on it. The scissors are a sponsored item. Because of my keywords, it's showing up with the pen. So really watch your keywords, really watch your rates. But I love promoter listings. I mean, listen, you get me sales, you're charging me a nominal fee, I can totally go along with this. Would I like to get it without paying extra fees? Of course. But you know what? It's going to cost me. So it's like, okay. And let me tell you, I'll bring up Amazon. I don't know any Amazon seller that's a medium to large seller that is not spending enormous amounts of money on Amazon advertising. So just to put that out there, it's very, very common now. So if it's not a ton of money, if it gets my items sold faster, and again, I'm looking to get profit because part of my goal is consistent sales. Part of my goal might be more sales. The faster I sell my item, the faster the cash is back in my pocket. Oh, time management. And then I'm going to scoot because I'm keeping my question and answers down to 30 minutes. Time management came up, which is a good one because when you're setting goals, whether I want to make more money, whether I want to be doing social media, it could be that I want more time for my family. And that's what my goal is, that I need to make my eBay selling more efficient, which is time management. And it could be on eBay that, let's say I'm doing 10 listings a day. And if I could get better with my time management, perhaps I could do even 13 listings a day, which doesn't sound like a lot, right? Just to increase it by 3, but a month is typically 30 days. If I can increase it even by 3, let's say 2, that's 60 more listings a month. 60 more listings a month means 60 more potential sets of eyeballs, and that's just one person seeing one item. Typically more items, if you're writing good listings and selling things that people want, brings you more traffic. And if you have a lot of unlisted inventory, which I did get some questions on that, so I'm sort of blending these two together, is if I can even get 2 more listings up a day or 3 more listings up a day, that cash that's sitting on my shelf is going to be cash because I'm able to sell it. The biggest thing I find with time management is, certainly you guys chime in and you can tell me this, actually 2 things going on. And one of it is because we're all on Facebook, is turn off the social media. You know, get on Facebook, check in the groups, of course, watch my workshops, and then get off. Whether it's Instagram, and of course we're doing social media tomorrow, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Pinterest. For some people, it's email. They'll just go down a rabbit hole with email. It's like whatever it is, and we all know what our things are. And it doesn't mean that it's not pleasurable. I happen to really like Facebook. But, and this has happened, I get on Facebook, and I'm going to look over here. I'll pick Sharon. And it's like, oh, let me go over and just see how Sharon is. Sharon just got a new kitten. So it's like, oh, let me go see if Sharon posted any pictures of her kitten. And I'll hop over to Sharon's page and look at the kitten. And I'm thinking, oh, I'm just going to spend like 5 minutes and I'm just going to check on Sharon. Maybe Kara, I'll go over and look at Kara, see if she's been sewing any new projects. And then I'm going to hop over to Cheryl and see how Cheryl's doing. And I swear I'm only going to spend 10 minutes, right? And 45 minutes later, I'm still on Facebook. It's like, and I have this on my computer, and my computer has a clock, bottom right, but it's very small. I have this right on my computer, and I look. And full confession, often the 10 minutes will turn into 50 or 20, but it's less. It won't be 45. It won't be an hour. And for me, I use Facebook as a treat because I enjoy it. So it's like, okay, I've done this amount of work. I've done half an hour of listings or half an hour of social media related to my business. And then I get off. Is you just got to turn it off, get off, and you have to have the discipline to do it. What helps me with that, and that's why I covered it in the first workshop for Skyrocket Your eBay Sales in 2020, is what is my big goal? And you got to, I actually have my goals hanging over my desk. What is my big goal? Is it the money? It could be a bill. Sometimes that'll help, your mortgage, hang the dollar amount over your, right? Or it could be a credit card bill. It could be a car bill. It could be a car repair. It could be school for your children. It could be vacation, but you know what that dollar amount is. It could be, I want to learn this new skill, and you hang that up. Well, why do I want to learn it? How is this going to help me? And I keep my eye on that. Watching the football playoffs, whether you're a football person or not, and for my non-US American football, because we're coming up on Super Bowl season, is one thing about watching really good playoffs too, regardless of what teams you like or don't like, really good playoffs, was you keep your eye. They know where they're going. They're going to the other end of the field with the ball. They got to pass it. They got to run it. And you watch some of the stuff that they go through. It's like amazing. But the intent is, I'm getting there. I've got to get a touchdown. I've got to do a field goal, whether I'm running it or kicking it. I'm getting a goal. They know where they're going. They're not sitting in the middle of the field. I mean, going, oh, it's time for a Facebook break. It's, I know where I'm going. And then when they get there, they achieve it, they get the goal, and they're switching teams because there's a defense and an offense. Then you sit on the sideline, and then they're preparing to go back out again. But is they don't lose focus of where they're going. And that's why I'm really, laser focused on set a goal. I like to write goals down. For me, and there's a lot of studies on this about writing things down helps you to obtain it. I like to write it down. I am a pen and paper person. I like pen and paper. That's why I did the worksheets. I also reuse everything. But I am a pen and paper person. This helps me, is write it down. For me, I hang it over my desk. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. Then I also have things on the side of my desk, is so that I remember what's important. I also remember that it's my choice. I want this goal. I want to pay this bill. I want to pay for this vacation. I want to increase my income. I want to increase my profit margin this much, or my Pinterest skill, or my Facebook business page skill. It is my choice. It's what I want, and I write it down. Now, for the people that are in the workshop with me, what I want to say is jump in the group. If you're not, you're like, Kathy, I'm thinking this, jump in the group and say, I've got these couple of goals and I'm not sure which one should be primary. I've got this goal, but I'm not sure what I need to do next to get to the next step. That's what this week is all about. So jump in and put those goals down. Be very vague if you want to be vague. Like if you're trying to learn a very specific niche and you'd rather not have your competition know all about what you're up to, that's fine. Just say, I'm really learning more, and just go very broad. I'm really learning more. I'm studying more on home and garden or women's clothing or whatever it is. I will never ask you super specific questions. I mean, I totally respect that. But just, if you're not clear, like, okay, I know where I want to go. I know I want to go to the, I want to get that goal, but I'm not sure how to get from here to there. Great. Post in the group. That's what I'm all about. This is what I do day in and day out with my clients. So I'm here to help you guys. And I'm going to sign off now tomorrow. Tomorrow is January 22nd, 4 o'clock, social media. And we're doing social media for sellers, which is not the same as social media for small business. And that's why I love to share about social media with sellers, because it's very, very specific and it is different than for a brick and mortar business. But let me just see how everybody's doing. You agree about time management. Thank you so much. Social media, phones. Oh, phones. That's another. It's not, but I have friends, I mean, they are texting me, and you watch it, at least in New York City, you do. I mean, there's people, they are texting while they're walking. They're walking in the crosswalk. It is so dangerous. And they're texting, right? So phones. Yes. Thank you for saying that. Eye on the prize, Heather said, yes. Yes. And listen to me, no excuses. Okay. Now stuff happens. I totally get it. Medical, been there, gone through stuff. And there's some things that I deal with. Okay. I'm fine. Everything's great. But I'm just saying is been there. Death in the family, been there. And sadly, we actually just had the stepson of a dear friend just died, opioid crisis. It's like, oh, so I have a life. We all have lives. I mean, death in the family, medical, bills that come out of nowhere. I mean, please, it's like, we're human beings, but it's that goal. It's that goal. So I might need to do a side thing. I might need to take some time off. I might need to go through this. Okay. I totally get it. But that goal, you got to get back in the game, go back for the goal. If something that you thought was only going to take you a month takes you 6 months, I talked about this on Monday, it's okay. Okay. I mean, and if you have friends that are like, oh, well, it's just taking you so long, and get rid of them. It's like, please, you don't need people like that in your life. But you also don't need people where they're like, oh, it's okay, that you're spending all day texting your friends instead of listing your eBay items. It's like, no, put the phone down and get listing. And if you love to text, that's great. Just do it for like 5 minutes and then put the phone down and then get busy listing. It's not a rush. This is a marathon, in case you're not aware of it. This is a marathon. This is not a sprint, but keep the ball moving forward. Keep the ball moving forward. And again, things happen. I totally get it. We have small children. We have family. We have health. All of a sudden, we need to move. There's change. There's a million changes that happen in our lives, but keep the ball moving. And sometimes it's change the goal. I may think I'm going to grow my business 40%, and it's like, no, this is just not going to happen. But I can do 20. That's great. Okay, that's really good. Or I can do 10. Growing 10, there's sellers in here right now that are watching this and going, I would love to grow my business 10%, right? So just keep moving forward. Then keep that goal. What do you want? Is this grow the business, grow your margins, grow my sell-through rate, grow my knowledge, which is, well, Kathy, I want to learn more about listing. Well, you know how you learn about listing? List. Really take it apart. Really look at the listing. I'll help you with some information, but really look at the listing. Really look at what you're looking at. I think a lot of times we're just flying through stuff so fast, we're not paying attention. Okay, anything else? Get it together. That's true. It really is. And I'm saying this for myself, please. I live in New York City. There's so many distractions. I can't tell you. It's just keep moving forward. And also, and I'll tell you this, I've had very negative people in my life. Okay. I'm speaking from experience. I've had people that told me I was a failure. That, oh man, and you know what? I did not give up because I knew what I wanted. And I'm also very stubborn. And I kept going. I remember when I first started selling, and I talked about this Monday, I could not even click a frigging mouse, the mouse on your computer. I would click it, it would fly off the screen. I remember crying. Like, 8-year-olds can do this, and I can't. But I learned. I took classes. I realized I needed help, and I got help. And you keep moving forward. And if people are discouraging you, now listen, if you're losing tons and tons of money, then you need to like stop and see what on earth is going on. Okay. Maybe it's stop shopping for inventory. If you've got 500 pieces of unlisted inventory, you need to stop and you need to list and you need to convert the inventory to cash. But you also need to get people around you. And I'm here to cheer you on, and so is the workshop gang, because the group is fantastic and everybody's cheering each other on. Is you need people around you that are going to tell you, you can do this. You can list. You can sell. You can learn social media. You absolutely, please, I couldn't click a mouse. It's like I'm doing great. You can do this. We all learn at different paces. Some of us are super fast on some things and super slow on others. You are not competing with me or with your seller friends. So don't do that. Okay. It's you. It's your pace. It's your business. But set a goal, stick it over your desk or stick it on a post-it or stick it somewhere, and then we're going to figure out how to get you there. Okay. So if you're not in Skyrocket, your eBay sales in 2020, get in there and grab the worksheet and get busy. Those of you who downloaded it, I'm going to say this very nicely, fill it in. Even if you only fill in 50%, it's okay, but fill it in. You don't need to show anybody. Fill it in. And I will see you tomorrow, Wednesday, 4 o'clock, and we are going to do social media. I'll see you later, everybody. Bye-bye. I'm Kathy, and I love to be selling.